my sweet friends. Hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend so far. I say so far, I know it's Sunday night, but like, I don't know, it's still the weekend, so whatever. Anyways, hi, if you're new here, my name's Mackenzie. I'm a private investigator, but I'm also a makeup slinger. I sell this one compact makeup that is super rad, and I'm obsessed with it, so I'm always here trying to show it to you, and I try to teach women how to find their confidence in makeup and in general. Hey, Elite, it's so good to see you, my friend. Hey, guys. So I want to show you this. I'm sure if you have seen, oh my gosh, hi, thank you so much. You guys are so nice. Hey, Felicia, good to see you. I know that you guys have, many of you have been on the Saint website. This is the number 8 collection, just to kind of show you the idea of like what the collections look like. The 8 collection has 8 shades, so it's basically like that's kind of exactly what it is. So the 4 collection has 4 shades, and the 8 collection and the 12 collection. Krista, was it on my social media, like on my Instagram? Because I can take a peek at that after this. I'll make sure to go check that out. And let me put my number here. Sorry. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I just put my number there, and you can always just comment the word match or do whatever you want, and it'll get you to my color match form, like automatically. So if you want to get color match, just type the word match all by itself or just text me. Either way is fine for me. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, I know so many people like a super light coverage makeup. You can get that with this makeup. It is very, very easy. I like the 4 collection because it's a simple way to get started with this makeup. And I know that a lot of times when we see something new, it's really confusing, but only because it's new. But then when you do it, you're like, oh, that actually really makes sense. So I want to do this in a way that, oh, you got your Chameleon Skittles t-shirt? You guys, there's new merch. Oh, crap. I have to do a video about it. I'll do a video soon. I got to wash my new merch and then I'll put it on and I'll show it to you guys. Okay. And if you want a link to the merch store for all my merch, just comment like the word merch. I think it'll pop up. Hey, Maggie. Yeah, you can get full coverage. It's buildable. So I'm using a smaller kind of fluffier brush. So I'm not going to do super full coverage, but I'll show you that even with a super, super light touch, you can get kind of a full coverage appearance. So I'm lightly sweeping into my cream makeup. And if I don't have the brush cleaner, what do you recommend? I would use soap and water, but I wouldn't use Dawn. Maybe baby soap would be my next suggestion, just because it's more gentle. It's just doesn't get them as clean. But I would definitely get the brush soap if you can, because it has, it's antibacterial and instant dry. And so it's like instantly right away, brushes are clean and good to go. So try to get the brush cleaner, but if not, I would just use soap and water. The only thing that sucks with soap and water is that like you have to wait and let your brushes dry for a whole day. It's wild. Okay, so also tip, if you are new here and you are not familiar with this makeup should always look darker than your skin because it's cream and it will blend out more sheer. If you apply a shade that is exactly your skin color, then it's going to blend and it's going to look much more light and you're going to see the texture. It's not like liquid foundation at all. So you can't even like compare them. Eco Tools. Okay. I didn't know Eco Tools had one. So Eco Tools has a brush cleaner, and is it instant dry? Like, does it work just like Saints? I'm glad for that recommendation because I don't know any other brush. I know It by Ulta has one, but it's not as good as Saints. I can't find one that's as good. Even the Cinema Secrets isn't as good. Believe me, I compared them. How long does how long does the foundation last? It should last you 4 to 6 months, depending on the coverage that you need. So, and then you just swap out like the color that you need to, when you run out, you just swap out the one color. It cleans the brushes well. Okay, good. Eco Tools. I'll have to keep that in mind. Will you message me that, please? I want to try theirs and compare it. It dries overnight. Oh, okay. That's the difference. Like, I like I like having a brush soap that works like you can really get a good clean and then you lay them flat to dry or whatever. But the one thing I love about Saints Brush Cleanser, the spray, is that it's instantly dry, like instant antibacterial. It's really good on your skin. It's good for your bristles. It's really, really amazing. Okay, so yes, this is a buildable coverage makeup. So I'm just kind of lightly dusting this on my face. Typically, Flex Professional. Oh, another one. I haven't heard of that one. Thank you so much for those, I'm gonna, hold on, let me screenshot this and save it. Yeah, the brush cleaner spray is the best, but if you're balling on a budget or you just want something like today, right now, then thank you for those recommendations. Some wash tool. I'm nervous about those because those will ruin your brushes. Okay, so I'm using a fluffy brush and I am just kind of dusting it all over. Typically I say do not bend your bristles, right? But with this, there's no other colors on my face and I'm just sweeping on this color. I'm not doing the thing where I'm doing like all the colors in all the different places and then blending them. It vibrates and the brush is clean. I don't recommend using those ever. I don't care if you're a Saint user or not. I don't care what brushes you have. I don't care if they're $5 brushes. Those will destroy your brushes. So what happens is, especially with the vibration, the glue, there's just glue. It's not concrete that's holding these bristles in here. It's just glue. And so things like that, when it's too rough on your brushes, it'll start pulling the bristles from the glue and they won't last as long. But that, I mean, listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if it's working for you, by all means. I just personally don't. My experience, because I've tried the washing machine for the brushes and like all those things, like all the little things that they sell for your, yeah, stuff like that is so, but also I'm not someone who likes gimmicks. Like I hate gimmicky stuff. Hate things that are like, oh yeah, this'll do this perfectly. And like, until I see it for myself, I do not believe that stuff is so gimmicky. Okay, so now I've used this main shade kind of all over my face, kind of dusted it all over. Now I'm going to use let's do my contour. So contour, a lot of people say, I don't need contour. And they're like, I'm just scared of contour. I don't want to use contour, right? I want to show you whenever I finish this look, you'll be like, holy crap, that's really three-dimensional, right? So right now I've just added a little bit of coverage. You can still see my skin. It's not super like, great flawless coverage like a foundation would, like a liquid foundation. And you'll see how by using a hydrating cream makeup instead of a like liquid foundation that has all these alcohols in it and then it dries on your face, you'll see that you get the full coverage look without actually caking on makeup onto your face. And it works really, really amazing. Did you get the video of the Barbie cups? I don't know. I'll look after this. If I didn't, my social media can be a real zoo, so please forgive me. But I screenshotted it, so your comment, so I'll go back after this and take a peek. Okay, so I'm using the same brush, and I'm just sweeping into my contour shade. I know these are creams, and creams are really scary, right? Like, ew, cream, because I did the same thing, so, like, do you, boo. So what happens with the cream makeup is it just kind of melts into your skin instead of sitting on top like the liquid foundation. That's why this is great for mature skin. That's why this is great for younger gals. It's great for literally everyone because, well, a couple of things. Any age, because when you were younger, like if you're I'm going to be 40 this year. So if you're around my age, you know that in 8th grade, we learned to smear liquid foundation all over our face and then apply everything else, right? Like that's kind of just what we were taught. And what was happening was all those alcohols and all those ingredients were basically just like, number one, not doing any favors for our skin. But number two, we were learning that like we needed a lot of makeup to cover our face. Whereas this makeup just kind of shows you that you don't need very much. You just need, just a little bit of dimension here and there. And by adding the right colors where they go, you can already see that contour. It's like a barely there kind of look, but you can already see where it's creating shape. And look how it's chiseling the face, right? With not very much. So it's not actually that scary. But I like it for younger gals because when we were young, we learned to apply so much makeup. And this kind of teaches the younger ladies that less is way more. You don't need that much. And for the older ladies and everyone in between, It doesn't settle. It doesn't crease and cake and lines and wrinkles. Also, if you have problematic skin, acne, hormonal breakouts like I get, like rosacea, the dry skin, oily skin, whatever you have, this makeup will work well for you. For most people, I haven't met anybody that it just doesn't work for at all, or their skin, it didn't look good on their skin. So because there's only 11 ingredients in this makeup, one of them is beeswax. Beeswax, which a lot of people don't know this, but if you go to the Google machine, it'll tell you, it'll back me up. There's beeswax is really, really good for your skin. It's very healing. And so many people who start using this makeup, they notice that their skin, number one, clears up like within right away. Like you'll see a difference. And whenever you take off your makeup at the end of the day, you'll notice that your skin is just like glowy, it's hydrated. So if your skin is dry, the hydration really helps to, complement your skin. And if your skin is oily, that's basically telling you that there's not enough hydration, like we need more. And when you start using this, your skin is like, finally. And then it doesn't produce as much oil. So it's really, really great. So you see that when I use these 3 colors together, my foundation, my concealer, and my contour, you see how it's creating like a brightness here, the dark here. And now we have a contrast on our face that is not one-dimensional. So a lot of people think, oh, I have discoloration on my face, I should add more layers. No, just add more colors somewhere else. So it's the whole idea of drawing the eye to another area instead of layering and layering and layering and layering and layering, trying to cover up those things. I always use the analogy of like a black dot on a white piece of paper. You see a white piece of paper and you see the black dot. Pretty obvious, right? But then you start adding really beautiful dimension around the edges and a nice frame. And then you have these really beautiful, colors and all of these beautiful colors everywhere else. And now that black dot doesn't seem so obvious, right? So that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the concept of, makeup in general, but this makes it like easy. Any tip of my contour being hard to apply? The contours are a little less creamy, like they're a little bit more dry, so you just got to kind of be the boss of it a little bit more. If you kind of dig your finger in it a little bit more and kind of rub your fingers together to warm it up and soften it, it'll be a little bit better to tap on your skin. So whenever you apply this makeup onto your skin, the heat from your body, like your body heat, will actually soften it and make it melt right into the skin. So you'll notice there's not a huge heavy layer of makeup, right? But look at the dimension that I still have. So if you like the full coverage look, then just go full coverage, right? Maggie, if you're too heavy-handed, you'll learn. Like you just have to kind of like, tap it on. How do I do this as part colorblind? That's a really good question. What's cool about these is you can organize these palettes in the order that they go. So basically for you, once you learn how, like what goes first, what you're going to apply first, you just kind of apply it in order and then you'll start to get the feel for it. Even my mother-in-law is colorblind and she can even tell with the darks and the lights and the shading. So I think you'll be fine with it. I think you should try it at least. Seint gives you a 30-day return and exchange policy. They have a 30-day return and exchange policy, so you should try it and see what you think. Yeah, I'm so glad you love your makeup. That makes me so happy. Drawing back your hand on the brush, Juan. Yeah, if you're heavy-handed, try applying. I always say if you're heavy-handed, try using just 2 bristles. Right? Try using just 2 bristles to apply. And obviously you'll have to use more than 2, but you'll challenge yourself to use like so much less pressure and it's cool. So you've seen me apply these 3 colors. I want to show you if you were to do it a little bit heavier, a little bit more full coverage, you would just add a little bit more. And I'm using kind of a fluffier brush. So you might want to consider using a brush that's less fluffy, like a more dense brush. This is a 3D brush. Because when you use a more dense brush, you can tap into your color and you can tap it onto your skin, which will give you a little bit more full coverage. So these are the differences between the brushes that I've been kind of showing as well. So tapping it this way, see how this is really light and this is a little bit heavier. So this is a great way to get a little bit more full coverage, even on the contour. So if you take your same brush, and this isn't one of these things where like, you, how do you get the makeup? Oh, this isn't one of those things where like you have to like wash the brush in between. This is just a matter of transferring the pigment from the pan to the brush by tapping the top of it, and from the brush to your skin by tapping your skin. So there's no like swirling and dragging and you're having to paint. You got to like stay in the lines. You just kind of tap it where it goes. And you'll see that if you get the general placement, then you'll be fine. This is not like perfection, like color in the lines. Like this is, I like to call it makeup for dummies, because if you have no idea with makeup, this is a great place to go. So when you have your contour, so it's not like you dip your paintbrush in a can of paint and then that's the color. And then if you dip it in another can of paint, then they're going to mix all the colors. That's not creamy wet. That's not what this is. So this is like it's not a powder, but it's like a dry kind of cream. Like it's like a, see what I mean? Like it's not wet. It's just, but I just tapped that on there. So now I'm doing this side a little bit heavier just to kind of show you the more full coverage on this side. So if you add just a little bit more, but see how this brush is a little bit more dense and you just press it in. Emily, isn't that weird? It's been doing that forever. Like it does that to me all the time. Everybody talks about how it makes my voice really weird. Okay, so by tapping in your makeup, and you can even use, this is not the, typically I use a much lighter shade than this. So what I've done is I've applied a foundation shade, a contour, a brightening highlight, all with one brush. And you see how that shape is really shaping up. See what I did there? So the shape and the dimension, you're really getting a lot of shape and dimension on your face without a whole lot. So this is like a more of a light kind of light coverage. And then this is a little bit more full coverage. See what I mean? So you can really switch it up with the brushes. When you say, how do you get the makeup off the brush? Like, what do you mean? So like I'll show you how to use the brush cleanser. Like the brush cleaning spray is really, really good. Isn't it pretty, Emily? I'm telling you. And it's just a little bit of tapping. Like this is not like liquid foundation. This is totally different. Like this is not even, it's just not the same. So in my little 8 palette, this is the second layer. I'm going to use my bronzer. So let's go back to my fluffy brush because I want to do light bronzer on this side. So this is my Bella bronzer and we're going to tap it just real light over here. I say light and then it looks like that, but you'll see that like when I blend this, it'll just kind of give like a really, really light. See, because I'm just kind of dusting and feathering. See what I mean about these colors like not being really heavy? It's not heavy makeup at all. It's really, really light. Do you sell internationally? Emily, we're going to be in the UK and in Australia by the end of the year. So if you want to get on my email list, I will keep you updated as soon as I know more. I personally am anticipating that the Customer Appreciation Day sale in July, they're going to be, because that's every year they have a July summer Customer Appreciation Sale. I think they're going to announce more then, but I'm not sure. So if you want to get on my email list for updates, I'll just go ahead and send it to you. I'm screenshotting that. So after this, I'll send you the link so you can make sure you get my emails and stay up to date. Okay, so I did a little bit of a lighter coverage bronzer over here. You see it just adds a little bit of warmth, right? Little bit fuller coverage. I'm using a more dense brush, like that means the bristles are closer together. When I wash my brushes, makeup comes off and goes down the drain. If you were just spraying the cleaner and not getting the brushes wet, how does the makeup not? Oh, I'll show you in real time. I will show you. I will show you in the real time. Okay, see how heavy it looks, and I'm trying to get real close so you can see. See how it looks on my skin and see how it looks kind of really heavy and you're like, oh my God, that's a lot, right? Watch. Now this is a fuller coverage, okay? So this is a little bit heavier than the other side, but look. See how I'm just tapping, a little bit of stamping, very, very light flicking and feathering. See, bronzer's not super scary. A lot of people think bronzer's scary, but it's not. See how this bronzer is a little bit more heavy than this side? Now, this is a really, I blended up to Jesus yesterday. Oh, Kim, how was the wedding? You told me about that and I totally forgot to ask. One brush that I recommend for everyone is this blush and bronzer brush. So the Saint brushes, what's different about the Saint brushes from any other brushes, which, don't get me wrong, Moda, Real Techniques, the It by Ulta, all those different brushes, wonderful. Sigma, I have literally all of them. I have hundreds of brushes, right? The difference in these brushes is for this particular cream makeup, it's the volume and density of the bristles. They're a little bit more stiff so that they can hold this, so that they can hold and apply this particular makeup. But anyways, take this fluffy brush and look. Just kind of fluff that out, right? So, so pretty. This is a great brush to have to just kind of blend that all over your face. Kind of cool, right? Oh, Emily, thanks for listening to the podcast. Yay! Thank you so much. We're excited. Hopefully we'll do another live show here in Tampa. So get your butt across the ocean, girl. You should come do it. Okay, so a little bit more full coverage where you can see there's more makeup. And this is like, it's the same makeup, right? But this has you can see my skin. It's a little bit more sheer, right? Oh, I like weddings because you really do get to connect with a lot of your family. I want to see pictures. You have to send me pictures, Kim. Okay, so now I've applied these 3 colors, which I will match you to. I want you to notice how dark this color looks, okay? See, it looks real, real dark. It does not blend that dark on your skin. So when I color, I need you, y'all, I've been doing this 2.5 years, almost to the day. And I'm telling you, I know my business. I am a top seller here. I match over 100 women a day. And that's not because I don't know how to color match. So when I color match you, I need you to hear me when I say it will look super dark. And then you will put it on your face and you will think I am insane. And then you will blend it and you'll be like, huh, okay. So I just want you to keep that in mind. How do you get it to stay on an 80-degree humid weather? Well, I'm in Tampa, so it's 1,000,000 degrees and it's humid. And when I do surveillance, it's 140 to 160 degrees in my car and humid. And I cry. I'm a crier. And so this makeup is not like waterproof, but it's fine, if you know what I mean. Like I think you're not allowed to say it's waterproof. I always say that. It's not waterproof. Fine. So if you sweat through it, just dab it off. Like any makeup, if you wipe it, like it's going to come off, but it's not like concrete and bulletproof, but it'll last you. Like you can sweat through it. You can work out through it. It's fine. It's not gonna, you know how like, I always talk about how liquids and powders have the alcohols in them. And so when they dry out, like they evaporate, right? And when it evaporates, it just leaves the dry part of like on your skin. And so if you cry or if you get it wet, that wetness holds on to that and it comes off together. Yeah, it resists water very well and sweat and all of those things. Yay, Laura! Oh, you're in Riverview. Oh my gosh, I went to Riverview High School. That's so funny. I lived in Brandon though, but now I'm in Plant City. When you do this setting powder, do you ever use a powder pad or puff? No, I just use a brush. I don't really like press it into my skin. It does really well. I just kind of dust it on. It's really light. Okay, so anyways, back to what I was saying. Foundation, concealer, contour. You see how these colors look really off and like, these are the colors on my face. This dark, super crazy dark contour, that's on my face, right? My Bella bronzer, look how dark. That's what's on my face. Crazy, right? Now I'm going to show you, let's do a little bit of blush. I'm just going to go with the light coverage on this side still, and then just do my regular, fuller, I guess, coverage. There's different shades that you can use. This one I want to show you is not, these colors look real dark. So when you see them, I just need you to know, okay, Mackenzie said they're not that dark, so I'm going to trust her. Not believe my eyes. Look. Okay. Look how dark this color is, but look how sheer. These colors do not go on as dark as you think, right? So you have to trust my color match. You just have to. And if it's wrong, like, I'm only human. If I get it wrong, then I'll be darned and we will just swap it out. That's what my customer service number, my personal customer service is excellent, by the way, because I insist on it. But that's why you have my text phone number. That's why you can message me or write me a letter or whatever and be like, hey, I'm not crazy about this color. Can we swap it out? Girl, yes, it's fine. So like, if I color match you incorrectly, I got you. But that's really usually not going to happen. But if you don't like a color or whatever, we can totally swap it out. Okay. So this color right here is this. So these colors are not terrifying once you put them on. They're only terrifying when you first see them. Do you see what I mean? So this is what I want you to know. So this is a cream. This is a cream. So all of these colors, like I told you about the creams. Oh, my fingers are wet. Like I told you about the creams, they are much more sheer when you put them on. So you have to trust, like, I'm going to need you to just like, I don't know. Just go with your gut. You'll know if you can trust me or not because your gut will tell you. Your gut will be like, yes, do it, or definitely don't. So follow that. Setting spray works with it. Yes, I always recommend a setting spray just because I love how setting spray works. It's phenomenal. And so I feel like use a setting. I use it for all my brides. I use it for proms. I use it for everything. And it's setting spray just, I don't know, makes everything better. So I always recommend a setting spray. I did actually, Kim. It wasn't my first country concert because back in the day, I remembered I went to go see Brooks and Dunn, which I was just wake me up when it's over. Like I was so bored and like, I like some of the Brooks and Dunn songs, I think, but like from back in the day, I don't, but I know they're not like a thing anymore. Didn't one of the guys die or something? I don't know. Anyways, and I did see a Reba concert one time, but then George Strait played and I was like, can we go home? Like I was I was exhausted from the concert. Like I was trying to stay awake and he was just draining me. And I was like, this is a good looking fella, but Lord, I'm going to go to sleep. I couldn't. But then the Kane Brown concert was really good. And my friend is closely related to him. So we got to hang out with him and like, chat with him, which was really fun. So no, Instagram does that to my voice. It's really weird. Hey, Chrissy. Okay. So now this is the crazy color that I've used, right? Another one of my favorite colors is this one. Is this one nude? No, this one's Desert Sunset. Sweepy, sweepy, tappy, tappy, whatever. Tappy, tappy. See how pretty? And I want you to notice also that this makeup is really glowy and beautiful. This is why this makeup was basically made for mature skin. When we have, I'm going to be 40 this year and I'm starting to notice it, but I know I have a lot of customers who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, even 80s. I think I have a 90-year-old client too. But they use this makeup because as we get older, we start to see the lines. We start to really see the age, right? This will not enhance it. It will not sit in in those lines and wrinkles and texture. It won't do that. If you follow my guidance and you use the brush that I tell you to use, because with more mature skin, you want to use a more dense brush, right? So a dense brush, press it into your skin instead of sweeping. That's when you're going to like notice a big difference. And also because this is so pigmented, you don't need as much. That's why these are little. That's why like it looks so dark. And then when you put it on, it's like not that dark. So if you just follow my guidance, I will get you to loving your makeup and you will feel so confident and so beautiful. It's awesome. So another one of my favorite products is the Illuminator. I love Illuminator because it adds a really beautiful pop of shimmer, just a little bit more glow than the makeup already provides, right? Oh my God, isn't that so funny? I'm telling you, people will absolutely notice your skin. So many people have said, people don't ask me anything except like, what am I doing different with my skin? It's my skin, because your skin looks amazing. I'm telling you, just freaking do it. Saint has the 30-day return policy. So if you don't like it, don't freaking return it, but you won't. I am someone who cannot stand gimmicks. I hate gimmicks. I don't like being lied to or fooled or, you know, anything like that, which is a big reason why I didn't want to get into sales, because I'm sure other people feel that way too. This is not one of the gimmicks. It's not one of the gimmicky things. I'm telling you. But I want you to see for yourself. Like, I want the woman who says this is, I was the girl who said, that's stupid. That's the stupidest makeup I've ever seen. I'm going to get it. Because I'm going to make sure, like, because I was a makeup girl and I wanted to try all the different makeups. I want to find another girl who is just like me, who is like, there's no way that makeup looks that good. I want to find that girl, and I want her to be like, Mackenzie, I think you're full of baloney. There's no way. I'm going to buy the makeup and I'm going to try it. And I want her to have that attitude. And then when she tries it and she says, I immediately would like to insert my foot into my mouth and apologize. And then I want to find that girl who is just like me. And then I want to get her to tell me like what she thinks. That's who I want to find. So I just love how it looks too good to be true. And so it's like, that's what I thought too, but it's really not. My under eyes are thin, it's going to have the purple blue. Oh, so instead of applying makeup in those areas, I recommend using color correctors. So I can match you to the appropriate color correctors that you need. So Cara Brooke, the founder of Saint, she invented I can't find it, the demi color correctors, right? So when you have like the two that I was going to show you are missing because I put them in another palette. It's fine. Anyway, so color correctors basically are used to cancel out using the opposite color. So if you have blue, you would use oranges. If you have purple, you would use yellows. If you have red, actual red, not baby pink and not violet because that needs yellow. If it's actually red, which typically looks more orange, you would use the green. And so I can help you determine like what shades you need to cancel out certain areas, because with this, it's not a concealer. You don't slather it on the discoloration and then hope that it covers. This is not like that. You take these colors and you apply them to the darkest area of the discoloration, and I swear to God, it is like it disappears. Like, it's freaking magical. You just got to try it. So it just uses the opposite color on the color wheel. So the way I remember that, and the way I try to teach my customers to remember that, is red and green, so Christmas. So red cancels out green, green cancels out red. Florida Gators, orange and blue, blue and orange. And then LSU, yellow and purple, purple and yellow. My sister always set me up in the application was my failure. Application is hard. Yes, these are creams as well. But you don't use that much. Like this, like with the demi color correctors, you use a brush like this and use like this age spot, for instance. I don't typically cover this up, but it's the only discoloration on my face where I can actually like really show the difference. But let me find those. I put them in another palette, but maybe is it this one? Hold on. Here they are. So this is another everyday palette. So this is the orange color. So orange cancels blue, right? So believe it or not, these sunspots and age spots are typically green, but there's also blue in them because our blood in our body is blue. And so it's filtered and it's a whole big thing. Like, it's a science thing. And so when you use these color correctors, this will cancel out everything that's blue, right? And then I'm going to use red, which is going to cancel out the green part of that. So some of these colors are like reddish orange, so it'll cancel out anything that's greenish blue. So you don't have to learn all the science behind it. I can help with that, but it's a great start. Like, you kind of start to understand the color wheel and stuff like that. So I'm going to use this color red. That's red. This is reddish orange, which means it's going to cancel out greenish blue. And so when you just tap on the areas where you need it, and then see how I put too much, you just pick up the excess. You can do this under your makeup. You can do it over, I usually do it over my makeup so that it's the last thing, and then it's just like, see how it's just gone. And then you can just use use your like, I have a line of melasma here that you can touch on too. Like, it's really, really cool. And once you get the hang of like what color you need for the discoloration, then it's just muscle memory. You can do it every day really quick. And it's just really cool. See how it's gone? And it's not that bright white color like your concealer. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a really great way to kind of manage those dark spots and that discoloration really easily with pinpoint amounts. So like I said, I'm going to be 40 in July. So if you're around my age, you know that in 8th grade, they said, take your concealer, pile it on your pimple, and then it'll make it look not there and false, wrong, like offside, too many players on the field, like false start, whatever, wrong, incorrect, right? So what really we should have been doing is taking those pimples that we say, oh, it's a red pimple. It was never red. It was baby pink or violet. And in that case, we needed yellow. We never needed green. And if we needed we never needed concealer. We just needed color corrector. And so those are the things that, I don't know, you can kind of, and it's not, I know it sounds like a lot, but yes, 84, baby. 7/4/84. That's my birthday. So those are things that I can help you learn for your skin. You might have one spot, or you have your under eyes and you're like, well, I just have blue. That's it. That's the only discoloration I have. Then I'll show you what orange to use. All you have to do is send me a selfie. I'll tell you, get this brush, do this, tap it right here. Usually it's the bag line, and you tap that orange right in the bag line so lightly, pick up any excess. And then it's like, you're like, holy bananas. It is so cool. It's amazing. Like it's fun too. Like you just, have you ever taken a mirror and just been like this and just like looked at your face so close? When you do that, it looks like there's so much discoloration, right? And so when you take just the largest areas of them and just cancel out, then it's not so bad. And it looks like when my melasma, it looks like it's a giant line. It looks like it's a giant like whole line. But when I just tap on the darkest areas, then it totally disappears. So that's what I want to teach you. I want to teach my customers and my followers, my audience. I want to teach how to feel confident in makeup without using it as a mask. Take care of the things you're not crazy about. Like, you have the right to do that. And if something makes you self-conscious, that's totally healthy. That's totally normal, right? And I want to be someone who helps to provide that confidence with your makeup, and this stuff makes it freaking easy. And then when I do the, like, let's say you want to use a setting powder, right? I don't know which one to grab. If you want to use a setting powder, I'll show you also with the brush, by the way. See how it looks? It has a lot of makeup on it, which I'll show you how I clean. But look at my setting powder. See how it's not transferring the makeup onto it? Because the makeup is not like wet like a paintbrush. It's just a cream that I've already applied it to my face. So now it's just kind of like a little bit of the pigment has been left behind on my bristle, but it's not going to transfer. So setting powder, I just kind of apply right here in the T-zone, which helps to set your makeup, kind of control the oil, all the things. And you just kind of tap that on. How do you make 11 forehead lines less noticeable? With lines like that, if they're really, really deep, you do the microneedling. Like, I loved the microneedling is so good. Like, it really, really helps that stuff. But use a darker color there. So like if you have those lines right there, Botox will really help too. I love my Botox, I ain't gonna lie. But use a darker color here. So where I do the really, really bright brightening highlight right there, don't use that. I would just use a darker shade and kind of help to conceal that a little bit more. And then mature skin, texture, lines, wrinkles, press your pigment in. And so you won't notice like when you sweep, it kind of, imagine your skin zoomed in, right? And it looks, you got the pores and you got the lines and you got the wrinkles, and it looks like this if it's zoomed in times like a million, right? So when you sweep, you're basically pulling that pigment to one side of each of those lines, and it's creating those, the visual that you can see where it's like settling in those lines, right? By pressing it in, you're basically just creating that really beautiful coverage on that area without bringing attention to it. So although I can't I know a lot of people like to say, oh, you'll look younger. Like, I think it'll help you look more youthful. It's much, but it's not going to take away your texture. It's not going to take away your lines. It's not going to take away your wrinkles, but it will help show the other beautiful areas of your face instead of focusing on those areas. So that's what I like about this makeup, is that you can achieve that with this. So, and you just look, I feel like it just gives women the opportunity to kind of explore with enhancing what's already there instead of using makeup as a mask. So that's what I like about it. But see how this side is a little bit more full coverage. This one's a little bit lighter, but do it however you want. And then once you get a hang of your makeup and you've played with it enough or whatever, you'll decide like, oh, I want to add more lip and cheek colors, or I want to try a different bronzer, or I want to try eyeshadows or whatever. And because these palettes are customizable, pop in whatever colors you want, arrange it however you want. It's really cool and really fun. Okay, so let me show you real quick. I am extra, and I transferred my Saint brush spray into a pink bottle so that it matched better, because the white bottle didn't match, and this is fine, so don't judge me. But anyways, I'll show you how it comes off really, really easy. Thanks, Emily! You're gonna love this makeup. I can't wait till it comes to Australia. To Australia, the bloody kangaroos. Oh wait, that's English. I'm sorry. I don't know. I have dark areas and sometimes my bag's under my eyes. How do I get foundation to not settle into those areas? You might be able to avoid using foundation in those areas completely. So if you have dark areas, then depending on what the darkness is, you can either cancel that or use a different color foundation there, which is another great thing about cream makeup. It all blends together and melts together. It doesn't like stick next to each other and on top of each other, because it's all different, formulas and all different, consistencies. So if you have a dark area, all you do is send me a picture and say, hey, how do I do this? And I'll teach you how to manage those areas. And then with like dark under eyes, for instance, the Demi color correctors, those were made to be worn without any other makeup. So if you're wearing makeup just because you have discoloration, let's cancel out the discoloration and then you don't have to wear makeup. It's so cool. I'm telling you, it's insane. Okay, so real quick. So remember I showed you this brush and I was like, look at all that makeup. That's like, it looks like it's kind of caked on there. Bipolar here in Georgia. It's hot, girl. The weather in Florida, it's not bipolar here at all. It knows what it wants, and it is hot and humid, and that is it. Nothing else. Okay, so look. See how I'm trying to do it slow so you can kind of get a better view. See how it's really, I like the spray. I think I like the sprayer on this bottle better too than Saint's. Look. So it just kind of like wipes off. So the Saint Brush Cleanser is antibacterial. So there's a hair in my microfiber cloth. It's antibacterial. So whenever you use it, spray it, you're like basically antibacterial. What do you call it? And sanitizing. Words are hard. You're basically like sanitizing your brush, and it just comes real clean. See how, and then you just spray a little bit more to get the rest out. But it really does a great job of just, and remember the makeup isn't liquid, so it's not going in there and ruining your brushes. You're just kind of lightly tapping into your makeup and just kind of, it smells so good. It's like cotton candy or whatever. But look, see how clean it comes? It's dry. It's ready to use. Like it's not wet. Like it's ready to put on your face, on the next thing of makeup. Really, really cool. Okay, so let's do this end now. See this end? I have my blush and my bronzer, my foundation, my concealer, my contour. I have all the things on there. And then you just swirly whirl. I use these, I got these pink microfiber cloths because they're pink, of course I did, from Amazon, but Saint has some. If you get the Saint skincare, it has like the microfiber cloths, which are really soft. So just a microfiber or a paper towel or whatever. And then you just kind of spray to whatever your needs are. Like if you need more, spray more. If it's really caked in there, if your makeup is not blending well, then you need to wash your brush probably, more than likely, but usually that's an easy fix, right? And you just kind of wipe, swipe, whatever. Only time you can swirly whirl. Yes, Amanda. Don't swirly whirl your makeup. Oh, and don't throw your brushes. But see, they just come clean. And they're ready to use, instantly dry, ready to use and be fluffy again. I'll be honest with you, I don't clean them after every use. Like, if you're someone who really uses a lot of makeup, probably ever use, but you don't, with this makeup, you just don't need that much. Like you will not ever use that much makeup. So maybe every 2 or 3, anytime you see it where it's starting to get a little bit cakey, then maybe do it, but use your best judgment, but whenever you think. But you can do it, like, I recommend doing it at least every couple days if you're an everyday user, like an everyday makeup wearer. And then once a month, use the Saint brush soap. It comes in like this little container and this really cute like silicone thing, and you just like, this silicone thing has a little, what do you call it, a little textured pad thing. And anyways, you just wet your brush and you swirly roll it on the soap and you swirly roll it on the silicone, lay them flat to dry. That stuff has tea tree, which is really soft for your bristles, so it's really gentle. And it will get them really, really clean and smelling amazing. So they did a really good job with, I'm really impressed with this company. Like, some of the products are like, the one thing I don't like is that the lippies, for instance, because there's so few ingredients, they're not long lasting. So you definitely have to reapply your lippies. But that's what I like about the palettes, is that you can get a really, really small one and just pop some lippies in it. And it's just really small to carry with you, several different colors, or, use I personally like, I'm kind of a lippy whore. So I have tons, millions of lippies. From different brands that I pop into my pocket or whatever. So do whatever you want, but brush soap every first Saturday of the month. Hey, that's smart. I like it. You have like a whole routine. I love it. But anyways, yeah. So just comment match. I will match you. The color match is free. And then I'll send you like a list of all the colors that I recommend. And then from that list, you determine what you want to add to your cart. And you say yes, no, whatever. And then pick your accessories or your brushes or whatever. And that's it. Like, it's really that easy, and it's really, really fun. And you will, at first when you get your makeup, if you're anything like me, you'll be like, this is stupid. This is not working out. And then you're like, okay, let me watch another video. And then you watch another video and you're like, okay, I'm going too heavy. This is too much. Okay. Oh, I just need to apply lighter. And most people are like, oh, I was just applying too much. I think that's the most common message I get is from people who say, I don't like it. And I'm like, okay, how are you applying it? And then I send them, I have this YouTube video that I made that was like step by step, explain it to me like I'm 5. Where does everything go? What does it do and why? And they watch it and they're like, oh, I was applying too much. And so once you realize that you just don't have to apply as much as you did in the 8th grade, then it's a game changer. Like, you will feel it in your spirit and you will be like, man. And when you look in the mirror, like when you pass by a mirror, you'll do a double take and you'll be like, dang, girl, okay. Like, even just with a light amount of makeup, it doesn't have to be a lot. It just, look at your skin. Like, well, my skin, I say, look at your skin, and probably do something with crazy brows, but it's fine. Don't judge me. But just look at my skin. You can still see my skin. My makeup is no longer a mask, and I vowed to myself to never wear makeup as a mask ever again. I will be someone who promotes confidence in not wearing a mask and still just having fun with makeup. Like, makeup is supposed to be fun and creative, and it's supposed to help you enhance the way you feel about yourself, and you can achieve that with this, which is what I really love. I applied too much blush, and when my mom applied, same too blush. You apply too much, and I feel like it's a rite of passage. You do not realize that, like, one little bitty dab, and that's a dab will do ya. Is that the sour cream? The Daisy? No, that's a dollop of Daisy. What's the one that'll say a little dab will do ya? Anyways, whatever. So get a free color match. Text me. Do whatever you want, and join my beauty group on Facebook. It's called Freedom in Beauty VIP. You have to type the VIP. So Freedom in Beauty VIP, and you will meet first of all, the most amazing women ever. Like, a lot of them are my customers. Some are other Saint artists, and just people who are just nice. Anyways, it's a really cool place to learn a little bit more about the makeup. And if you have questions, my customers specifically will be brutally honest with you. So if you're like, hey, I have dark under eyes, and Mackenzie said something about demi-color, but I'm not sure. Do you guys, what do you guys think? And they'll be like, I have dark under eyes too. Here's my picture. I did the demi-color correctors. This is what I did, and look how it looks. Like, that's a great place to get true, honest, genuine testimonials, I guess, to kind of see like what you need to see for you. And so I feel like that especially from like being on the podcast, like doing the podcast, my Dating Detectives podcast, a lot of our guests that come on are victims of like domestic crimes, or you know, they have these terrible stories where they've been terrorized or whatever. And anyways, the one thing that they say helps get them through that like horrible situation is the sense of community. And every time they say that, I'm like, that's so interesting, because although I just feel like a sense of community is where people flourish, right? Because you don't realize, like, yeah, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to raise an adult. Like, the more we're there for one another, the more inspired you feel. And so that's why I really like that little group. My little Facebook group is my heart. Like, I love everybody there. I love everybody who follows me, and they send me messages. Everybody's just so nice, and I've just never been surrounded by so much kindness in my life ever. So I'm really grateful. So anyways, yeah, get a free color match, message me, do whatever you want. I will be here for you. I will offer you customer service and support and help you find confidence in makeup. So anyways, I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night, and tomorrow's Monday, so make it good. It'll be a great start to the week. Love you guys.